just because we get around. Talking about my generation. Things they do look awful. Talking about my generation. I hope I die before I get old.
Yeah, the 600 is just such a long race, and the track changes so much, your adjustments have to change, your line changes. The mental clock at 500 miles expires and you think it's over, and you hear you got 100 to go. You're like, what, really? Seriously? So I mean, it's a long race, very challenging for all. But with all that said, like, I've literally won the race once against Bobby Labonte in the last 100 yards of the race. Like, it took all night long to get position and to finally lead a lap, and I just nipped him at the line. I got to his outside and was able to beat him to the start-finish line.
All clear. One last charge right here, man. Hey, baby, bring it to the house. You rock! Yeah! That's racing.
You know, Charlotte in general has been a great track for me. My primary sponsor was the sponsor of the track at one point in time. You know, there's a lot of pressure to perform well in my sponsor's backyard.
Jimmy Johnson wins the UAW GM Quality 500.
Of course, in Hendrick Motorsports' backyard. You know, I lived here now longer than I did in California, so arguably this is my home track. You know, so there's a lot of pressure to want to perform well at home, and I was just so happy and so fortunate that the track fit my style and it worked for me.
This is Johnson's 7th win here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
And although they don't look a lot alike, Dover and Charlotte have some similarities, especially when you look at the setup of the race car. You take a very similar setup to each track, and then the driving style is ironically very similar. So I've just been lucky to wear a track that had so much meaning, you know, for me for a lot of reasons. Fit is one of my best tracks naturally. I guess one of my favorite non-wins at Charlotte would be the year that Casey Mears won the 600. It was kind of a fuel mileage thing at the end. Darian was his crew chief. They took a gamble on fuel. They got it done. They won the race. So excited for
Way
him.
to go, guys. That was exciting. Yeah, baby.
Yeah! Thank you, National Guard. I am out.
He's out of gas. That's okay. Carol, he can't do any burnouts. He's out of gas.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, I remember going to Victory Lane, and Casey was so emotional. He had tears coming from his eyes, and just one of those moments with your buddy.
Can't believe. Actually, let me look at this for a second. Yes, it is real. I believe we're in Victory Lane right now.
Yeah, you are, brother. You are.
I'm just so stoked for him. And you know, we had our moment there in Victory Lane, and then we're trying to figure out, like, where's the party? What's next? And while we were planning that, me and some friends decided that we needed to toilet paper his bus. So we did a great job of TPing his motorhome, inside and out too, by the way. He was surprised when he went to change and head back home. When I think of Charlotte, I think of my first Cup start. And I know a lot of people probably don't remember that point in time, October of 2001. But you know, I go back to that moment. It was just a crazy weekend for me.
On the inside of Rowley, Jimmy Johnson in his first NASCAR Winston Cup race, and Stacy Compton.
Sadly, on Thursday night, one of my closest friends was killed in the ARC crash, and on the front of my car, his initials are still there that people see and ask often about as I try to honor my buddy Blaze that we lost. So I'm dealing with those emotions, which are gnarly. I have a Busch Series race for the Herzogs that I'm running, plus trying to qualify the Cup car. Lowe's is there with Robbie Gordon in a full-time car, and this is one of my races to show up and try to make. I end up qualifying 15th and make it. The full-time Lowe's car does not make it and goes home. So, like, for me as a driver, I'm like, yes, I made the race. Like, I did my part, right? So that's like the huge first step in my Cup career and trying to validate to the sponsor that they made the right decision. Then what's crazy is I get into the race and Jeff Gordon is fighting for his 4th championship. And they don't care what I do out there. Go have fun, go fast, do anything you want to do. Don't crash 24. Bottom line, don't crash 24. Well, I come into turn 3, lose it, spin as I'm backing into the wall at a high rate of speed. I look out out my driver's side window, and the 24 car knows I slid right in front of him. How he didn't hit me is beyond me. But the one thing I wasn't supposed to do, I just about did. And I don't know if I would have lost my job, but it certainly wouldn't have helped anything.
Talking about my generation, just because we get around.